Call came in about 3 o'clock that morning. It was initially reported that there were flames showing.
The fire occurred in an apartment complex that was built back in about 1985. The fire appeared to have started on the balcony.
On our way to the call, I was looking on the computer on the truck to see the notes, and it stated that the police department was already on scene, and they were reporting that the building was more than half involved.
The police arrived shortly before we did, and were able to start trying to evacuate some of the buildings along with some of the other residents.
The initial report did state that there were people still inside. As we were coming down the street, I did observe a column of smoke over the top of the buildings, and as soon as we turned the corner, you could see the flames were already through the roof. One side of the structure was fully involved because of the vinyl siding on it, and it had already burnt up through the roof and out the top.
The fire apparently started from a discarded some type of smoky material. And at that point, the fire progressed, and when we finally arrived, it was a rather large fire at that point.
And we pulled up to the side of the structure, and I instructed the driver to go ahead and set up the ladder because we're going to do some aerial operations. At that time, I got out of the truck, and a man approached me and was pleading for us to save his girlfriend that was up in the bedroom window right beside our truck there. And so I informed people on the radio that we were going into a rescue mode, that there was somebody trapped on the second floor in a bedroom window. At that time, I grabbed another guy and we started setting the ladder up to get to the window. But as I was looking up there in the window, I could already see that the ceiling had a glow to it. The fire was already through the roof above them. A room that had that kind of conditions in it, we know that the temperatures inside are pretty high. And I knew in my heart that there's no way somebody could survive the inside of that room.
What we've learned about the smoke alarms that were installed in that apartment complex is that they were not interconnected. They didn't have battery backups. They were the responsibility of the tenant to check the smoke alarms and make sure that they were working. So what we found out about them is that one of them may have gone off or may not have gone off, but because they weren't interconnected, they weren't going off anywhere else in the apartment. It was likely that the power was cut to the smoke alarms before they would have had the chance to activate an alarm and let anyone know that they needed to get out.
The building was built in the mid-'80s, and at that point there was no code requirements for battery backup or interconnectivity.
From the time that it starts, there's a small flame, it can grow pretty quick, and you really have less than a few minutes to get out of the house before it can flash over.
The location of where the victim was in the actual apartment of where we think the fire started, and she was found in her bedroom by the firefighters. She had just graduated and was actually had been offered a job in another public school here in North Carolina, and was going to be moving and actually starting work within about a week.
According to the autopsy, she died from smoke inhalation, because the first breath is what got her. If she would have crawled out, she might have made it.